The Department of Health has intensified its contact tracing of passengers that have arrived on board an Etihad flight from the United Arab Emirates last week. So with its tests of those who have been identified and submitted themselves for testing, the good news is all those quarantined and tested are negative for the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus, or MERS. The country is MERS-free. And tonight we are joined by Dr. Lyndon Lee Suy, the designated spokesperson of the DOH, to give us the latest update on the efforts of the Department of Health. Good evening, Doctor, and welcome to NewsLife.
Good evening, Robert.
Doc, can you give us the latest update on the contact tracing being conducted by the DOH?
Well, we were able to trace more than half of our passengers already. However, we're seeking the assistance of PNP, as was shown a while ago, in tracking the other cases because we do not have their numbers with us.
They come from all over the country. Where are the tests being conducted?
Well, for Metro Manila, it's being conducted here at our ITM. However, for Visayas region, we have assigned Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center to be one of the hubs for the testing of the MERS coronavirus.
Doctor, what kind of tests are being undertaken, and is every passenger quarantined, and for how long?
Well, what we do is the nose and pharyngeal swab. You just tickle your nose a little in your pharynx. We just do a swab, then send it to our ITM for PCR. Now, as far as the signs and symptoms are concerned, it is respiratory. We have cough, fever, colds. Patients may manifest difficulty of breathing, and there are even some patients who will have problems on diarrhea.
For the education for the public, what are the symptoms that are first detected if one is infected by the virus?
The patient may start with fever, then eventually developing some problems on respiratory with fever, cough, colds, and as I said a while ago, like difficulty of breathing. These are the more common signs and symptoms seen on a patient with MERS coronavirus infection.
Now, Doc, is the contact tracing limited to the passengers, or has this been extended to their family or their friends who they've come in contact with?
Well, the contact tracing is limited amongst the passenger of flight EY424 because they're the ones who had history of exposure to one possible positive case of MERS coronavirus. We're not including yet the friends, relatives, not until we get to find somebody else as positive, but up until now, most of the cases seen are actually negative.
Though every day we have many passengers arriving from the Middle East, are measures in place at all airports to monitor the MERS and other infectious diseases?
We have our scanner to detect incoming passengers with fever. With our advocacy, with our campaign, our passengers are actually aware on what are the different signs and symptoms and where they should go when signs and symptoms appear. But then one has to take note that apart from the signs and symptoms, one has to consider exposure to a positive MERS coronavirus infection. And the other one is that the history of travel to Arabian Peninsula.
How should these measures be now, since the Filipino nurse who came over here, who was first detected with the MERS, was asymptomatic?
We really do not know on what happened during the flight. Remember, it's a long flight, 8 to 9 hours flight. And during the flight, the patient may have cough or sneeze once or twice, exposing some of the passengers, and we don't know which passenger it was. So what we are doing now is really appealing to all the passengers of flight EY424 to really coordinate with us and make sure that they submit themselves for testing and eventually get free out of this MERS coronavirus infection.
Doc, is there a cure for the MERS?
What we do here is we target the manifestations. If the patient has cough, we cure the cough. If the patient has difficulty of breathing, we address the difficulty of breathing. That's how we address the patients with MERS coronavirus infection.
Doc, what would be your final advice to our people to ensure that they're safe?
Well, first, among the passenger, we're just waiting for you to coordinate with us. Our number is at 0271111001, 0271111002. Number two, for you, if you get any MERS coronavirus infection, the way to handle that is making sure that you have a very good immune system, good resistance level, so that you won't be get infected.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us here tonight at NewsLive. That was Dr. Lyndon Lee Suy, the spokesperson of the DOH on the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome or coronavirus. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.